Qonaya nakik aya ya habuchinye jene chalta katyuhan. Shukwaya wasa aktu ya ke yisakwa akhi ya khana. Shukwaya yikakhoz yisai daat awe kha. Dasa daat awe yukayajeek. Yata aya kutzati du ye jene itin agishawu. Kuxagóot. Yadu Gwelli satin yata chalta kata tina khayati de akayajeek ya hajiyis. Yadu ko daat Dukt'ootlʼ we you akayajeek. You at kayajeek. You at kuḥagóot. You at kayajeek. Yatayach chawasai tuasagu daat Dukt'ootlʼ. Ye awe tuasagu yisatini ya chagudach kuku. Dukt'ootlʼ aya shkalneegí daat yejetune. Jeewanei aya ai hwai naqtsu. Llingit Dukt'ootlʼ hasa akayajeek yakuk. Taanáx shawe jinjin tlek shuwahich yata aya dakhas awati. Yat kwati ʼéitach aya shkalneegí. Ye Dukt'ootlʼ daat Dukt'ootlʼ. Hechwasagu gudach sawe we shukaadé. Kuḥagóot yuduasak. Tlekach enach Facebook. Awe chwasatin. We atlein llingit yahai. Qonachawe dasa akawat chak. Akayajeek has ausane kayajeegí. Hechwasagu adusa jeewanei eka chakut dach hasituasagu de katha ayi kunachoy has ausaku ada akayajeek ayi hasaguchtlayeech. Tlach tuashgu hasu jiye uti Achtuasaku chalta katuhan wutusi ada shkalneegí gudachsa. Kayaaní kayaajeeg yedakhu satien. Dukak hastin. Yakyekt adewu we ʼéit Dukt'ootlʼ wushdach awatzetl we taan. Eka awe aye wutien. Chana kayaneegin akat sewu guksa. Aye wutien eka shkalneegí awe. Yadu de adaye jeewanei yisatin jeewanei kuḥagóot tin akayajeek dasadu tuasagu chakut de has akayajeek daat. Yadu wegout Nora Florendo yudusak. Ye awe. Atlein yake atakayajeek guksa adaye has jeewanei. Tlek 1,000 aya has outliach. Tlek achji. Yadu adusa daat jeewanei. Awe chasakuan titla anika. Adusa inachsati dat just awe. Just the katas hanakas art. Jawait the kata at husati. Jutle hanakas arti. Yakuk hasu jeewanei. Ye awe. Yatayach mutis deo to suku wishkalneegí. We Héen awe duasak awe Dukt'ootlʼ. Taanáx awe tlach wuj yan Dukt'ootlʼ Wanach so kuḳagóot. Gwall tlach shkalneegí. Hach away tlell unach husti tlell kayajeek. Awe tlaye hajinuch. We tan awe ach hasjudenuk we at hasak. Awe tlaynach ha awe kalwait you do a sock. Na shada hanich sati. Akal de katwish kalneegí. Nisitinge kuḥagóot tin jal de katat de kaushahit we akina do yegi at. Ka de katwish kalneegí daat ye jeewanei Yesu. Gulchish we igen akuk da his da kihiti jeewanei. Hasawe a kaushahit a yahai akuk. Aka awe achtuasagu yisatini. We gadua ye ayayanshu watan yashkalneegí. Akayata kutzati ade kabdujihitya tlingit. Ha yata chak douche glade hakekli zaid gooch. Hit achin dukak duwak atesh yeel now seek speak. Shash te ta klek cake klek Dukt'ootlʼ, sa, tzitsk, duwak, siu, yak, duhunch, qaq, hoots, tich, gaat, duche, qishk, yeel, tai, yai, wa'eh. Ka yatatsu, kuנחyek. Yatatsu gwal tlell yiwustin in hechosaku. Wuhan na kitlingit a kauhlateich. Haskoa a dauchteich. Oh, henya tlingit cheka. Kusaat. Yausaka. Where I hasajiwanak. Hasajinak away where I classifier adach. Shukwaya khwasatini a kutyawune. Awusne, what ausene? Ausne. Ausikha. Or ausikha. Wusati. Ha, shlikudzi. Yatatsu. Jutekut. Jutekut ha. Wushtekun. Kudzati. Outliqin. Ayawdutl'sin. Keuchken. Shakudzi gulchish. Yadu gwashituasagu yisatini. Tlingit curriculum akayajeek. We Dukt'ootlʼ tlellach wutlach hilwasaku anachsaya. Kasayeach computer. Gulchishuhan. So we have all that. That was really neat. So I was sitting in my office this morning, and I got a stack of some of those books. Most of them are Yilchakudatan Kahiti and Hoots Ayakutlakati shaawát. And then I saw, oh, there's Dukt'ootlʼ. Wow, cool. Oh, whoops, I forgot to show you all this one too. Yata. Huchi Kachawe akaushahit. Shausku. Ashitsku. Ashyauska. Outkin. So hard for me to do. But so then I had this copy of Dukt'ootlʼ from long ago. And I was walking over to the library. I was like, oh, I want to get this scanned, because we bought this fancy scanner a couple of years ago with Jonas Lamb. It's Jonas Lamb's work over there. And I've got a bunch of books I've been asking him to scan, including some weaving books that we don't have other copies of, or they're out of print. We mostly do out of print stuff. But then when I was walking over, I started flipping through the book, and then the first thing I saw was that little handwritten piece of paper, which was the first thing in there. And I was like, it looks like Nora's handwriting. And I know her handwriting because I would show her things and she would write all over it. It was lots of, I know her handwriting from corrections, which I'm very much appreciative of. And then I started looking, I was like, oh, she was working on this. This is so cool. And so it's a Dukt'ootlʼ. It's a 51-year-old Pepa Nui. And so I thought it'd be fun. So that's in the Tlingit curriculum folder. And we're going to do Dukt'ootlʼ in a second, but someone else can have to drive. I don't know what's going on. Mine won't open.
Are we going to listen to it first?
Yes. But first we got to do this other thing. So I thought this thing would be really fun for me. So I figured out, well, I don't know if I figured it out. I found a formula on the internet and copied it in here. So here's a verb theme. You guys already know everything you need to know to do this. Put this verb theme in the future with a we subject. I can wait. I got time.
Dukt'ootlʼ.
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 Jeewanei. Dukt'ootlʼ. And so one thing you can do, like if you know it, you could say it. And then you can also, if you look on here, just to sort of continue to talk about using the conjugator as a tool, this is future, and we're looking for the first person plural. We look here, we say this is a zero act verb. There's no thematic stuff. It's a zero classifier. So that's the information we need to go look it up. And so we go into here it is. So we go into the conjugator. We're going to go right to the future section. And then we say, okay, this is a zero verb. Oops, yeah, this is right. So there's nothing there. There's no preverb needed. I got to fix the progressive. Okay, I forgot to do that. It is going to have g, and qa. Has to have that. It's going to be long and high. So then if we go, why is this thing a pen? I don't want it to be a pen. Okay. But yeah, you're correct. It's right here. So gachtu, and then it's going to be cha. So there's gachtu. So we start off with kayajeegí, a real low-hanging fruit. And so now we'll go and we'll see. I don't know how I did this, but I think it works. So if I go in here and I delete my answer, and then I click out of there, it changes. So now, this is gonna be, okay. Let it be stout. It's just random. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, but the reason why this would have, so if you try this, there's something that's in conflict here. What does not work? And your answer should be, well, you can't be stout. No, I'm just kidding. Why there's a disagreement here? Anybody know why?
Well, generally, there's no hortative for the second person.
You can make a hortative.
It's command.
Yeah, but there might be times where we want to learn how to do it. So I could say, wash your hands so you can eat. So that second one is going to be a hortative sounding thing. So you can do, and you can, to actually do a hortative in the second person wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. let you go, let you eat, right? It's just, you just say eat, right? You command them or, you know. But so this has a first person singular subject and there's no subject in here. But we should expect ye kanach datlá. So we'll try a different one. What happens if we click out again? I guess I gotta give an answer. If I say ye kanach datlá. Hortative is a verb mode that means let it be that way. And so when we do a hortative, and so we learn how to, like in the early stages of learning Tlingit, we don't, and who knows how we're going to do this 10 years from now. But generally, we try not to use words like hortative. We'll just say like Dukt'ootlʼ. That means let's go. But that is a hortative verb. So if we go down, it's a hortative with a thematic, and it's a na conjugation. So we're scrolling down to na. It's a D+0 classifier. So I should expect ka, nach, da. And it looks like it's going to be long and low. Kanach da tla. Let it be stout. I do think the Irialis would just get gobbled up here. So it'd kind of disappear. Okay. I think I'm potentially 1 for 1. But if I click out of here, now see, but I think I need to do a beginner version of this and ditch the potential and maybe just do futures and hortatives. But I thought it'd be fun to just sort of, there might be a future, speaking of a potential, there might be a future where I just do this and ask you to put it together. But for now, I just want to front load it into your memory. Get yourself ready.
You could duplicate the page and change the formula and add a third column and say what the criteria is for each one and have it only be certain modes.
Yeah, right. Right. Now I could duplicate the page and just delete some from the list, right?
You could do that too, but if they already had modes attached to each of it.
Because the way this works is there's, let's see, is it going to do it? Oh, I don't. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, this is being a little cussy. Oh, there it is. They're up at the top. So this is the data that it draws from. So here's a big list of, how many? You know, there's only 1,182 1,181.
That's not bad.
Verb theme. So 1,000 verbs. 1,000, whatever. But I think another, like maybe a baby step version of this, or a adolescent step version of this, early learner, is if I pick so if I go back to like the Tlingit reference guide and what I thought that thing was going to be, and I pick those 30 verbs that are in there, and then and then we go up to mode, and maybe we focus on command. I don't know about command and prohibitive. Maybe we just start with perfective, perfective negative, future, future negative, and then either imperfective. I don't know. Just trying to think of what the next step is. Okay. Okay. But we could do okay, so this one says a toot, and then object, j, subject, 0, ton. So this is a 0, the biggest thing, 0, 0 classifier, and it has j, right? So that's like the information we need to take into the conjugator. We bring that in, where do I go?
to the potential.
Is it this one?
Potential.
I didn't put the second part on it, but it's put, I need to add thematic there. So like, oops. But this one will say thematic on there at some point. So then we're looking for 0, 0. Am I remembering that right?
Yes, with a J.
Oops, wrong thing. So yeah, so it had, where on earth did it go? Yes, so it has J subject 0, 0. Okay.
We need a preverb. Do we?
Well, a toot, that, yeah, that won't change though. Well,
Do we need, like, looking at the page prior, 538, or it's like if you're to do a potential, it has that list of like gouache.
oh yeah, it's gonna have, yeah, we
Yeah.
should have gouache.
Okay, that's what we're.
Cheese, yes.
Okay, like preverb on the preverb.
Gouache, a toot, and then it's right here. Jeewanei. Probably, oh, I don't know. The only thing I don't know is the stem. So this, for some of these where you've got options, I don't yet know how that works. I would, if I were to guess, like if I were to look at this and say, gouache a toot a jeewanei, I'd probably say it short and high, but that would be a total guess. But one thing we can do is this verb is probably in here. Oops. Hold on. Maybe it isn't. Okay. We'll pick a different one. It's still it's a akayajeek adaayutundatani.
We have plenty to pick from. I just did the math on it. It's over 60,000 combinations.
Right? And so it's pretty fun, right? Because then we could just sort of like say, okay, it's your turn. And we go one at a time, and I'll say, okay. And what if we went one at a time? We got to develop rules for like if we're gonna have a game, because the game also can't be a nightmare. And so we said, okay, that's too hard for me. I'll say, okay, let's just run it again. But we can also take potentials off the list if we wanted to, right? But we can also look them up. I, potential, prepare to travel. G, conjugation, 0. Would be the top potential one. So I'm going to say gouache. This is 0. So, oh, but it's G conjugation.
555.
So we go down. So it's G conjugation, 0 classifier. This one is actually the easiest because they look a lot like futures. It's a future with a plus I classifier because it's G, G. Gouache, kuḳagóot. Maybe. I might get ready to go. One of my children could probably use this verb. I might get ready to go. I might make this all late. But you know, what do they say? The apple falls. Just a 2-1 kaya see with dark with the git. Or dark kaskitch. The apple always falls next to the tree. Okay. Let's listen to Dukt'ootlʼ. I think, what if we listen to it and we look at the old version? That'd be kind of fun.
in our last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna listen to it?
Yeah, the recording is like 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Or
Perfect.
Okay. So let me share the screen with the sound. Looking at Dukt'ootlʼ. Scrolling up to near the beginning. Zoom in, so it's nice. All that work with the pen? Shkalneegí.
Ewe Héen awe ʻéit saako tukun Kayaaní. Ewe tleisach kin kuḥagóot sawe kuḥagóot. Kustleisach shkalneegí tleis unakuste katleis ʻéit. Jeewanei we Taanáx nukat hasak. We chenakawe kaswit you do a sak. Nashat Héen city. Yeah, the case kawe. What is sak which kuḥagóot yachet, it is night kuḥagóot. Katena kutuna kuziti. Ewe shkalneegí ewe Héen dan at with the kuḥagóot. Kasakuyach kayajeek Héen dan ate. Ewe katleis kaos ʻéit ewe sakut Héen woogoodi. And akayajeek Héen dan góot. I'll tell it just the way they tell it. I would say the Taanáx with you the Héen can look. That a good in a way. We can a kuḥagóot. Yeah, can eat a wutusi.áx. Look at that, I would say. Yeah, can eat it a kuḥagóot. Kayajeegí is daat. We can eat in the daat is we can daat it. What is the daat called twisted? The kuḥagóot is and then a start to it. We had the great the so could go to the kuḥagóot shoot on teenage. Why not so? It's like a kuḥagóot took away. Héen daare. We kuḥagóot. It's a Taanáx kehichlet. One and is so Héen daare. Yeah, the Taanáx to eat for the 10. Had 2 years our cat. At our skin. See, cool at who were cut. It's just a crazy kuḥagóot. No tears, kayajeek to so. Satsina yachet. Yachet to sak satsin. Oh, yes, kaha. Can cook saha. Oh, it's like, other stuff, to taste it. It's the water was me. Okay, clear shows that we can hand. Okay, we carry there what the start. Yeah, this like the hack. The cut yard is like the hack that get to shoot the tea in the shkalneegí. Yeah, you could get a give. Kayaadis kaak atsalis koe kayajeek. Atleesios kahal. Suhin kaku. Suhin woogoodi. Sujeesios ka. Sujawaso tegandas ukhis. Góot sujees tao us. Suhin des kawana. Takunaes nasniawa. Session nas ukhis. Atleesios kagan khatikhis. Tetewe esios ka. Sia na keine góot ʻéit Skakhuanawaha na Skakhuahina Tani. Yenahawaka and Wishin. You'd go at a shoot query or you the state technique. I see that there were and Katut Nachna, Shuya and Kaasike to Asahi, which were huge. Ja, she wore it, as good, skips a quatan. A co and she were you to a sack. Who did it took to sack? I'll tell you what it is after. At the shaawát. Once you went that coat. It's a Hintachik, Taanáx, so to the kuḳagóot. Where's got it so? You can knock up the kayajeegí. Now, this kayajeek away, you can knock the screen, shukaadé. A kayajeek to nestew. Shadukia with the cock. A kashunagut so. They just sit in you with the cock, which in Taanáx. Nagut so kayajeek and shiu. Dukt'ootlʼ with kayajeek with the I coach away was get it such on the screen at Kayajeek. The coach was Kayaaní. Sujees when the stien was Koen to our to take a Ujo, a Joe to cocktail to go street. Ujo, shaawát. I go to him a yahoo scene. Shadu do Koen. Taanáx to a sack. Kayaaní Joe. That I to shaawát. We got quite a chase outside to new technique. I would Taanáx cage. Here, Shaki go, but no shaawát. No cacao, you, I think it joy or sour tan can check. Shaawát. I would do not do the who to cock. Takoyo, Sahutsu, that the hortative is silk go with kunai, scut. The Jojo a cat at the Rotsego to a chuck. The shooter the teeth to Sakeo, geek it or she. You could nick a cow's teeth. Sutake kunao, you shakawatsai woogoodi. I want to that you had schoon the chairs in Fayewa woogoodi. I could not cook Kasku city hoko. So could not say what I could not cook her. At the kuḳagóot, Héen would do it to cock. There was a scene, so I had net you a question. In the gin tin. taakna kutsikun sawe awajak sawitan otakwe sakit awatu tuju sisa akewa kut yaki nawa kawa kustakake kakwate sawitan sakai na nuka tukin kindeyos newe wetan kwa the kinder case or hitch in the shana what's I waiting a fast car and so got a huge kiss a car. Isn't then cat or the as the shot a hana do the Joe over car way we car at Kahas you to a sa which is naked. Also with their hand. Oh, yeah, got to Adet sadak wa khut ya amsiu ka chawa dak wa khut adet sakau adet sawa kaya nan ka se ka chawa oche ga na kut ya kiftak na kut ya khakawa tait ka ga sa tukhis tasti awa keushken ya tak askiu tu sa ka cha khutsti awa ya te ga te ka khitkin shukaadé which can jam says was cold she's the na good with Taanáx can get a crack the key. So I said I question so and that's stuck. So you can do with way the cargo or just the tantin. Again cow jack to take a kindy or has in the cake. So again there is canoe was no stuck a car at least. Kayajeek. Akayajeek kina Taanáx kuţagóot kana shik. Yewa kaw technique. Ayatin kwat starte was taka the cock set to the chito tiwat da. Awa ko hini kuḥagóot wa sak the shaawát kuḥagóot to sakun. We can daat to George Edgewood, what you know that. I know it's a Héen good. At George away, in that he joined the cock, waiting to start our shukaadé at Nikich. And what the cock shut our said, do the jeewanei. The ʼéit tea and chalk. Pakak na kanen. Kaya shut our teaching. We charge the cottage at that to stick. I chase with school and was at the circle. So with the cock side was the side was the casuate. With the shut side, the chase with school and a what. Oh, yeah, would now reach power our siku. Yeah, Kanika the whole neo, Axati no shots and go kacha. It was Sax say tea. I shall take chase with school. As cut Panahasina, Shakuna for Hajo school. Yeah, and she was 10 hours technique.
Atuso uwahin watan.
Every talk on it.
Kayaaní.
That's what
Yes, a cockatoo.
yes, sir.
Dukt'ootlʼ.
No shaawát.
So,
Yeah. You 6 days to go and go hortative. After Demet.
oh,
That's
how did you get the tune with you as wanting shkalneegí?
Kuna hasawa yes only.
Okay. Keshwitsku. Wild. Okay, so now you've heard it, read it the old school way. And we're going to keep working through this document. And what we did, like a few little exercises to show like what that random verb generator would be. And I think there's 3 verbs we looked at that are all in that story, which is wild. Thoughts or questions before we go?
Who were the people in the recording? Again?
Yes, who are the people in the recording?
Good. I thought Kayaaní was one of them.
Kayaaní,
Yeah.
she was the interview.
Kuḥagóot.
Frank Johnson. Yakushe. I think he was from Klawa.
Is that where he had a specific dialect of how he
Yes.
said things, eh? Because I was like, holy, I missed a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Blink of an eye.
Southern, yeah, that's a Southern dialect. So he was a Héen speaker, Prince of Wales, and yeah, that was the most recent dialect to kind of be lost. Like there's probably a couple of people who they can speak that way, but like I think I don't know if there's any people who were born speaking who still speak the Southern dialect, but we can see it. Like there's lots, like I think we just went over this was last night, I think. So the rule is a verb does not need to have a prefix. It doesn't. But if the prefix has a consonant, it must also have a vowel. So you cannot have only a consonant in a prefix. That is the reason why any plus D verb, you have to have a subject in the command form. Because you'll say cha, nata, right? There's no subject in it for the second person singular, none whatsoever. But if it goes plus D, then it needs to have that. Ukecha. Big old story.
On Monday, are we going to go back to our nadak?
I think we're going to try and get through Dukt'ootlʼ first.
Okay.
And so, because we also need to probably get into it a little faster.
Yeah, well.
It worked out just to chat a little bit and then to show a few new tools. But I want us to get through the whole thing. And then for our final, which is about a month away, I would like us all to write a short daily conversation. And you can work in pairs. And it would be great if you either performed it or recorded it. And I think I'll give you folks a short video to transcribe. Since we were talking about transcription and people want more stuff to transcribe.
I don't think I asked for that. I'm happy for this, but is it going to be like the last one? Like where it was Jimmy Johnson?
Oh no, it won't be a big huge one. That one was so fun though.
So fun. He's a fast speaker.
This will be a speaker from Tesla, I think.
Ooh.
That whole
Got a lot of untranscribed videos on YouTube.
Anything else before we go?
Jeewanei, jeewanei we conjugator de akayajeek ʻéit wutusi. Yan jeewanei hajias kuḥagóot. ʻéit stuga hadati.
Okay. Cash in the second kuḥagóot jeewanei. It was close. My brain almost exploded. I was just trying to figure it. I was like, I knew if I could make it, like it would make things a lot easier, I thought. But then like, as we use it, we keep looking at those components. Oh yeah, these are the things that are in there. And this is what they look like when they run into each other. And then I think the next step is figuring out the hierarchy of contraction. Like when ga meets ga, ga has, you know, like who's the lead dog? Which dog gets to eat first? And so, yeah, that will be coming at some point. And then finishing the verb components book. And then we can like look at that little board game and like show ways we can use it, which would be kind of fun. Because then we could take a verb like, we could say, I saw in the library today, ʼéit qaddishi. And if I said ʼéit qaddishi, so we've got ʼéit, there's your preverb, right? And I think those parts are in there, maybe. But when we get to the verb, here's our key to go home. When I say ʼéit qaddishi, what was that movie where a guy's like, you want to go to jail? You want to go home? So here's our little version of that. So it's ʼéit qaddishi. And let me make that larger. Oops, why did I pick that? So if I were to pull this, we're not pulling it apart as far as what we're doing with our story. But if I did it with this, let's pull the whole thing apart. All the little components that are in there. Starting with the preverb even though I said we wouldn't do that. I'll do the first one. Now what?
You? Or what are we doing?
There's a you in there. Okay, no. Eat. What is eat made out of? ʼéit qaddishi. How many things are in there?
Vowel?
Well, there's the there's e and then the t.
So it's the relative of a peg vowel is the empty base, because the empty base is like, yeah, I'm just an elongated peg vowel. I am here, so you can put a suffix on it. Okay, qaddishi. What's in there?
Is that
On top of a horizontal surface?
Ka is made up of two things. It's not a horizontal surface.
Dang.
Ka.
Ka and cha will always get you ka. Those two things will always be ka. If you need an example, if you have ga, ka, 0, góot, you end up with kuḳagóot, just like we expect. Now what? We got the ka taken care of. It's almost time to go home.
Classifier.
Which is?
D. D-A. She.
Boom, go home. Oh wait, let's do next day night. No, I'm just kidding. She's playing. Kuḥagóot, akayajeek, to cut you.
It's kind of messy.
Sheesh.
Huh.
And it's sheesh. Ziagen.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Diolch.